Employee of the Crosse School District pleaded guilty today to 5 counts of sexually assaulting a student.
Well, Dustin Bagstead was a part-time show choir co-director for the district. These incidents happened between November of 2016 and January of 2017.
News 8's Mal Meyer is in our newsroom tonight with more on what the plea deal involves. Mal.
Mike and Martha, since the first victim came forward, law enforcement officials identified 3 more victims. But as part of a plea agreement, he only admitted to sexually assaulting one of his former students. According to the criminal complaint, a student reported to police that Dustin Bagstead started assaulting her when she was a freshman.
I engaged in a sexual relationship with a young woman identified as victim A. Who was 15 years of age at the time.
Bagstead pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting the child at his home and in his car.
What is your plea to? Guilty.
He was facing a total of 15 counts involving that student and charged with 4 counts of child sex crimes involving a second victim.
The defendant had agreed to plead guilty to 5 counts, and rather than delay the case further for the need for trial and people to testify, the victims felt that this was an appropriate way to resolve the case.
The district attorney says the victims felt it was important that Bagstead plead to more than 1 count.
He'll be punished accordingly, and the record will reflect it happened more than once, and we'll have this case done easier than going to a trial and having to testify.
District Attorney Tim Grinke says the length of the maximum sentence was also taken under consideration.
At one point it became a law of diminishing returns and decided that the other charges will be considered by the judge. He just won't be facing the time for those charges.
The state is not recommending a specific length of time for the charges. Instead, the other counts will be read in for the judge to take into account during sentencing. The criminal complaint shows a victim A, B, C, and E, so the judge will consider what happened to all of the victims at Bagstead's sentencing. If sentenced to the maximum, Bagstead could receive up to 200 years in prison, 75 years of which could be under extended supervision. He could also be fined up to $500,000.
Thanks so much, Mel. And also, Bagstead will be back in court for his sentencing in April of next year.
He was released on bond, but is required to undergo GPS monitoring and cannot have any contact with victims.